Hello guys, in this video I will discuss programs on custom object in ArrayList for placement preparation. That programs demonstrate how to create an ArrayList to store multiple custom objects and perform basic operations like storing custom objects, searching, removing, sorting and displaying custom objects. So let's start to write a program. So I switch to Eclipse IDE and here firstly we have to create project. So click on file new Java project and give the name of project is custom object on ArrayList. Okay, and from here we can select JRE and then next and then finish. So our project is created here. So click on SRC and firstly we have to create package and give the name of package is com.java.program. So you can give any name. Okay, and then finish. So in this project, we have to create custom object. So I want to create student object and this student object, multiple student object, we can store on array list. Okay, so firstly we have to create student object. For creating student object, its class, we have to create firstly its class. Okay, so click on package, create new class. Okay, so here I create a new student class and then finish. This is a student class. So for creating its object, we have to create a test class for main method. So again, I create a new class called test. And in this class, we have to declare main method. So from this main method, the program execution is start. So I finish. In this class, we can create object of student. Okay. So firstly, we complete this class. Here I create a student class and class is a structure or blueprint of a object. Okay, so this student class, we have to declare its attribute and its method. So firstly, I declare here its attribute and its attributes or data members make private. So I declare here its ID and its name make private. Okay, and then we have to declare constructor for construct object source. There are two constructor from superclass and second one is using parameter. So click here source and using fields we can construct object. Okay, so also we can declare its getter and setter method generates select on all and then generate. And one more method we have to declare here source. On source generate to string method. So our student class is declared. So I save it. Okay. So our class is ready. Student class is ready. Okay. And then switch to test class. In test class, firstly, we have to declare array list and this array list holds student object. So firstly we have to create an array list of student object. So I declare here firstly empty array list. Array list is generic type is student. Student type object we have to add in this array list. So I give the name of this student array list is student list. Stud list. Okay, and using new keyword I create a new array list. Okay, so here I create an array list for student object for whole student object. So I import this array list. Okay, so our array list is ready. So here I create student object using student class student and its reference is s is equal to new student and using constructor we assign its value. Okay, so first one is id and then name of the student prithvi. Okay, this is the first student is declared here. Then next student is s1 is equal to new student. Using constructor, we assign value of student object. Okay, next ID is 2 and name of the student is Sonali. Okay, similarly, we can declare multiple students object, student object, and give its value. Okay, there are four student object is created, student object is created, and then we have to add this student in student list of student list array list. Okay, so using add method we can add the student in the array list. So using reference student list I added using add method, add, and its parameter is student type, so I click here and give the reference of students. So there is four students added here one by one, and give its reference 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I added here four student, and using system.out.println we can display value its details. So I give the message student information and give its reference student list, stud list. Okay, so firstly we create student class, then create a array list for student object, then create multiple student object, and then using add method this multiple students added in this student array list. Okay, so this is a custom array list for student. Student is a custom object, and for this we create an array list which holds multiple students information. Okay, so I save it and run Java program. Student information is displayed on console. So if you want to iterate one by one students, so you can use for each loop. So I use here for each for iterating one by one student. Our student array list, its type is student type, and for each student I give the name is stud, and each student is iterated from student list, so stud list. Okay, and then display here in system.out.println student information, and particular student I use stud. Okay, so from student stud list iterate one by one student using stud reference, and this is a student type. Okay, so using for each loop we can iterate one by one student information. So I click here for run as Java program. Firstly, only one time student information is displayed, and then its information. So I use this. Okay, save it and run Java program. Okay, student information, and this is a multiple student is added in the student array list. Okay, so this is our first program for storing custom object in array list. So for this we can create any custom object. Firstly create its class, any custom object like employee, student. Okay, and then next create a test class where main method is created, and create an array list for custom object, and then create object for uh, custom object, create object for custom object like student, employee, and then using add method this student or custom object added in array list, and then display information using for each loop. Okay, so this is our first program. So next program is sorting custom objects in array list. Okay, so this is our final array list, and this array list is displayed in such a way that we can inserted a student object. That means array list preserve a insertion order, but I want to display student list by student name or by its ID. So for this I use the sort method, and sort method is available in collections class collections class. Okay, and a sort method is available in this, so I select this. But sort method is applicable only for which are internally implements by comparable interface. Inbuilt data type, string, integer, when we check in java.lang package, these integer string are internally implements by comparable. So our student is a custom object. So firstly, we have to implement by comparable interface. So I implement and give the student class. Okay, and when we implement comparable, then it's a method. We have to add here unimplemented methods. We have to add this method. We have to override here. So compare to method, this method is override here, and here I write our logic here. So I want to sort student by its name. So I use this dot name, that means current student name is compared to another student name. So I use here other student name. So other dot name, I use here other dot name. Okay, so using this compare method by name, our array list is sorted. So I save this, and we have to pass here our array list. So our stud list is our array list, and after sorting, we have to display our student list using for each method. So here I display student information. Okay, so our student list is display by name, that means A, P, P, and then S. That means in natural or alphabetical order. By using this natural order, our list is displayed. But I want to display list by ID. Okay, so for this we have to change this compare method. So I use here integer integer dot compare method and pass current object and other object. So this dot id and other dot id. So here I use O. We can also change other and use other dot id. Okay, then save the student class and then run test class, run as Java program. Okay, so after sorting by name, here I have to change by roll number or ID and run as Java program. So our student list is sorted by ID. Next program is removing custom object from array list. So this is our student array list, and from this list we want to remove a particular student by its name. Okay, so for this firstly we have to iterate one by one student from the student list and then check its name. Okay, so I use this for each loop here, and check here, stud is the particular student. Okay, so I check on it on stud Firstly, I have to get its name using getName method, and after getting its name, I check using equal method. Using equal method, I check the particular student. I have to remove from that. So I have to remove Prithvi from student list. So I give its name and then remove this object from the stud list. Okay, so I use remove method and pass object stud. The student, which student's name is match. The student we have to pass to remove method, and after removing break this statement here. Okay, and here this name is match, this particular student's name is match, then this object remove from our student list, and after removing we have to display student information. So I use this for each loop here again. After removing student, then I display student information. Okay, I save it and run Java program. Okay, so this is our student information after removing this particular student from our student list. Program is searching for a custom object in array list. So this is our final array list, and from this array list we have to search student by their ID. Okay, so for this we have to iterate student one by one. So I use this for each method, for each loop, and in this loop we have I have to check this. Firstly, when we iterate student one by one, so I have to get its ID. Firstly, I get using get method, get ID. I access its ID and check by provided ID. That means we have to search this particular ID. So I have to search this 32 ID is present or not. So I use direct here ID 32, and then if this student is available, or if this ID is matched, then display its information. So I copy and display its information, and after searching I break this uh, if condition here. Okay, and then I save it and run Java program. Okay, so for break I have to display here this for separation, and also I write here search by ID. Okay, save it and run Java program. So 32 student information is display here. So using traditional loop, we can search particular object from array list. So the last program is display custom object details, that student information. So we can use for each loop. So our list is student type and access particular student. So I give here a reference S from stud list. Stud list is our array list, and display here using system.out.println, display here particular student S. S is declared already, so I change here student. Okay, so using this for each loop, we can display students details. So I use this for partition. Okay, so I save it and run Java program. So this is our student information is display here using for each loop. So the next